Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dan from Big Bucks Trading. In this video, I'm going to be going over my technical analysis on the Dow Jones because I do think that the top is near. So I'm going to be showing you guys why I think that. Also, if you haven't checked out my Twitter, it's Dan Dow Trading. I post crypto updates throughout the week and stock plays. Okay, so I'm going to go way back into the 1930s. We had this crash, retrace, and then a pullback. If you measured your 0.236 Fibonacci level, right on that support right in here, you could see that it perfectly got out to that 4.236 before we had a crash. This crash took us down almost 50%. Okay, so after we hit that 4.236, you draw out your Fibonacci retracement from swing high to swing low, and it measured out to the next crash. This hit the 4.236, and we had another crash that took us down, this one 40%. So this time, after it hit this 4.236 extension, it went up, pulled back down, and if you measured out your 0.236 on top of that support level, just like we did before, you could see this time going out to that 4.236 extension and crashing 55%, just like back in here when we measured off that 0.236, perfectly hitting that 4.236 top. Okay, so now if you draw your Fibonacci retracement from swing high to swing low after we hit the 4.236, you can see that we're getting out to the next 4.236. So that is one thing that is leading me to believe that we're getting near that top, because we are getting near that 4.236, and that is a very common level that the Dow seems to crash at. Okay, so you kind of see how it's going back and forth. First, you measure off your 0.236, then it hits out at the top extension. Next, you measure it regularly from swing high to swing low, goes out to the next extension. Measure it the same way you did back here, goes out to the 4.236 extension. And now you draw it from swing high to swing low, and you could see how it's getting up to that 4.236. So if you go way back into the 1920s, 1930s, you could see that we had this double tap over here, started to go up, then we had a rising wedge up here. After that rising wedge happened, it just broke out to the upside. It didn't follow the pattern. And you could see that it started to go up, slowly, consolidate, pull back, and then we had a parabolic stage. After that, we had these three tops right in here, these three peaks. So you had 1, 2, 3. And each one of these were pretty big pullbacks for the market. This one taken down almost 10%, next one 12%, and then another 12%. Okay, so after those three peaks happened, the market went parabolic and had a blow off top. It went up about 34% before it just completely collapsed on itself. Okay, so if you look at the structure that we're doing right now on the Dow, you have this rising wedge, breaks out to the upside of it, starts to go up, consolidates, pull back, and then we went into a parabolic stage. And then we had these three peaks up here, just like we did last time. You had 1, 2, 3, and these brought the market down pretty far as well. This one 12%, 20, and this was the COVID crash. This took us down 40%. Okay, so now I believe that we're in the blow off top phase before we get this crash that comes in, just like what happened last time. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you guys, if you take the fractal from right before the crash happened in the Great Depression, you drag it over here, put it right down at that bottom right there, you can see that it perfectly takes us out to that 4.236 extension before we get that crash. And you can see that the structure is literally identical. Okay, so those are my reasons why I think that the Dow is going to crash around that 4.236 extension, which is around 39 to 40,000. My first reason is getting close to that 4.236 extension, just like it did last time before we had that crash when we measured from swing high to swing low. It's following the same exact structure from the crash before the Great Depression happened. You can see that the structures are aligning perfectly. Okay, and then my last reason is if you take the fractal from the structure that I was just showing you guys, it also takes us out to that 4.236 extension, which is another confluence telling me that this thing is going to crash at that level. Also, if you watch my last video on the Dow, I go over this Elliott wave pattern that the Dow is following, which also takes us out to that 4.236 extension. Okay, so that's going to be it for the video. If you guys like this video, leave a comment down below and drop a thumbs up, and I'll continue to make more of this type of content. Have a good one.